Hello, everybody.
Hello, I'm Allie. I always forget. I'm Allie.
And I'm Sam. And today we are sharing a PIO injection tips video because you're all so interested in PIO injections. When we first started doing these injections, we also Googled and searched for videos and articles all about how to do the injection. And I found it really helpful to find out tips from people that have done them and not just like nurses and doctors, weirdly.
I know. I also found it helpful as the giver of the needle because the ones that were by doctors and nurses or the one that our pharmacist sent us was like so robotic and they didn't use real bodies. We just want to see a real person do this for the first time and see what to expect.
We've shared a lot of our PIO injection journey with you. I will link all of those videos down below in the description box. But we are here to share some of our tips and tricks as the giver and the needle getter.
What was my song? Tips from the giver, tips from the receiver.
And I said that sounded like a sex song.
Whatever, Wazzy.
It's tip time.
Tip time.
We need to explain what a PIO injection is.
A PIO injection is progesterone in oil. It's sesame oil with progesterone in it. This is what it looks like. This has about 10 doses in it, and what it does is it gives you progesterone. It goes in an intramuscular injection, so it's an intramuscular injection. It goes in a muscle. We do it in the upper butt.
So I'll show you quick because it's not like booty. It actually goes like right here.
Yeah, so it's
like
not exactly
like
like buttocks. It's back. It's love handles.
Yeah, it's like the love handle area.
Yeah. And it's administered with a 1.5-inch injection.
It was 2.
Really?
I think that's a 2-incher.
Is started 5 days before our frozen transfer. Everywhere is different. And then it's continued up through the 2-week wait. And then if you do get pregnant, it's continued at our clinic up to 11 weeks or something.
I think so.
I know you're all waiting for an IVF update, but you don't have one yet. In the meantime, we wanted to tell you about an app that we found for our frozen transfer, our third frozen transfer that we found really helpful, called Bonzone.
And this video is actually sponsored by Bonzone.
Thanks, Bonzone. Bonzone is an IVF app.
So you can set it up specifically for whatever treatment you are going through, whether that be IVF or an embryo transfer of some kind, and it will walk you through your procedure step by step, and it has so much helpful information about what you're going to be going through.
And it has so many helpful elements, so many helpful pieces to it. What's your favorite?
My favorite part of the app is the medication tab. So it lets me put in all of the medications that I'm taking, the doses, the times, and it also will set reminders that go off every day so that I never miss a dose, because we all know that it is so important when you're doing IVF that you don't miss a dose of medication. It's like make it or break it.
And there's so many different medications and so many different times that
it can be hard to keep it all organized.
Especially when you are on the super fact. My favorite part of the app is the clone feature. So when I log in, I can get a special code that Sam's login has and then put it in my phone. I can see
everything I put in.
Her whole treatment schedule. So if you want to share it with somebody, that was really cool. And the community section is really cool. You can connect with other people who are also going through the same thing, which we've found really helpful on our journey because family and friends, I feel like they mean really well, but if you haven't gone through it, it's not exactly the same. I found that really helpful.
There's also an FAQ section where you can get all of your burning questions answered.
And there is a new feature where you can make boards. So cool.
There is a new digital letterboard feature. So if you want to document your journey, you're able to put in how many eggs were retrieved, how many were mature, how many fertilized, how many embryos you got, and how many ended up being frozen. And it's really customizable to your journey and whatever you want to put in. If you would like to try Bonzone, we highly recommend it if you are someone going through fertility treatments. Head down to the description box and we will have a link to send you over to the app and you can download it and give it a try.
Yes, it's super helpful. I'm so glad we found it for our third transfer. If you know someone going through IVF, it's something you might want to suggest to them.
Yeah.
So good luck.
Good luck
Baby dust.
sending you baby dust.
Tips from the giver.
Let's go.
Tip number 1 is be prepared. I find getting all of my supplies ready and set out beforehand is key. 2 swabs, and a Band-Aid. And then also, do not forget this part, some sort of wipey thing, like a paper towel or a gauze pad or something, because sometimes they bleed and that's okay. Sometimes oil comes out and that's, I don't know, okay. Number 1 is just be prepared and have your supplies out. Number 2 is know what you're doing. Whether you know what you're doing or not, just like watch some videos or feel prepared. So confidence, I guess. Let's say number 2 is confidence. I found at the start, the times when I was hesitant or not confident was a lot more painful for you.
Yes.
So even if I am feeling like, I don't want to do this today, then just being like, no, I'm not the one getting a needle in my butt. I have to be confident. That really helps. Number 3, once you have it all prepared, maybe we'll do a preparation needle video for you. Let us know if you want us to. We're talking if it's already prepared. Be quick at the, what's it called?
The stabbing.
The stabbing, sure. Be quick at the stabbing. So honestly, it takes a lot of force for this to go into the muscle. I was really shocked the first few times. Just the quicker and more dart-like you can do it is easier for you, I think, and easier for me. Darting it and then pushing the oil in slowly, leaving it in for a second or 2 after, 5 seconds even, then quickly removing it. Tip number 4, warm up the needle. Oil is thick, you know oil. So think about the consistency of it, and the warmer oil is, the more easily it will go in. And I find the warmer the needle is, the easier it pushes. However, as our pharmacist said, you don't want it to get too hot. We always put it under our armpits, or you do. Let it warm up for like 10 minutes beforehand.
I would not recommend putting it in boiling water or a heating pad or a microwave. I've heard of people doing those things. You should not. Our pharmacist says it's a big no.
Yeah.
It will denature the proteins and render it essentially useless. It will not be as potent. So warming it with your body temperature, so that could be holding it in your hand tight or under your armpit. That's a much better way to go about warming your needle.
My final tip from the giver is to be patient if your receiver is nervous that night or like not wanting to get the needle done, but also firm. I feel like if you're just too patient, it gives you a chance to get more like panicky. So you're really good at them after a while, but I found at the start, if I was just like, you can do this, you can do it, it's gonna be over in 10 seconds, it's gonna be done, but we have to do it.
I have one more tip.
From the giver?
From the giver.
Okay.
Once you've been on PIO injections for a while, you will get lumpy and bumpy and get knots. So make sure that the person giving the needle is feeling around and going for an area that doesn't have a knot. Because if you inject into a knot, it is really painful. It is not enjoyable. So avoid knots.
And you can feel it. It's like a lump under the skin. Those are my tips.
Okay, now time for tips from the person that actually gets the needle. Okay, tip number 1, I actually prefer to get the needle done when I am laying down. There's another option where you stand and just don't put any weight in the leg that's getting the needle, but I find that so much more painful. I find it so much easier to just lay down, because a big part of getting a PIO injection and having it go really smoothly and not painfully is to be relaxed. You don't want your muscle to be tense. I lay on my stomach and I also bend the leg that the injection is going to go into. Just puts no weight, no pressure into that hip, and it just goes so much smoother. I hate getting them standing up. It is not fun for me.
No. Yeah, luckily we're usually home, so it's good.
Tip number 2, after the injection is done, have the person that has given you the needle massage the area. Getting a massage is going to spread out the oil in the muscle and keep you from getting knots and keep the muscle from getting sore. I know my first few injections, we didn't do anything special after, and I was just achy and sore in the muscles. But now that I know what I'm doing, they really do not hurt, and they do not hurt after the fact. Like, I feel great. It's not a big deal. I don't have achy muscles at all, which is shocking considering I get an injection every day in my muscle of a bunch of oil. Tip number 3 is more just a little piece of advice. The injections really don't hurt that bad. I know I was super terrified to get them. I thought that is a huge needle. It's going into my muscle. This is going to be horrible. but they're really not that bad. Do you think you could get one?
No, I can't. I couldn't do it every day. You're a champion.
And tip number 4, I think, is to do squats. Moving the muscle is going to spread the oil out in it and just make, again, it so you don't get any knots. So those are our needle tips.
Those are our needle tips.
Did you have any more?
I don't think so. I think just realizing that it's not as scary as it seems. Easy for me to say, but just like thinking of it maybe in a way that isn't as scary as it seems, and knowing that it's over really quick, and knowing it's for a good cause.
You're making a baby.
Yes. So just try to relax as best you can and know that it will not last forever. Those are my tips.
Good advice. Thank you so much for watching, and you will see us back here with more fertility content soon.
See you soon. Good luck. Bye.